Hello, good evening, guys. Welcome to the Wednesday Talk Show brought to you by Pothos Events. This is Alamjeet Flora, your host, and very glad to bring you so many topics. Thanks for always appreciating what we bring forward and also interacting with our guests. So, big hello to all the new viewers who are joining us today. Keep listening to us, keep encouraging us. Thank you so much for that. And today we are going to be talking about, a topic which is very different. We've not brought this up still on our show, so I'm very excited again to bring something new here. So we have this topic of healing with intuitive vibrations of tarot. So, what is tarot and what it is will be explained by a lovely guest who's there with us today. She is Mrridula Bali. She's joining us from India. Mrudula is an intuitive life coach. She's trained in assisting with past life regression, sound healing, inner child healing, and a lot more. Please do check out the profile that I've put up on Facebook on Mrudula, and you will know what all you can contact her for. So please follow her, and I'll bring her on right now. Hi, Mrudula. Welcome to the Wednesday Talk Show.
Hi, Alam. Thank you so much for inviting me. And hello, everybody. A big Atma Namaste to each one who is there viewing both of us together.
Yeah. Thank you, Mrudula. And today we are going to be joined by people from this part of the world, largely also from India, but largely people from Europe, Sweden, Norway, all these countries. So your advice and your guidance is going to be very helpful to all of us. And this topic is so interesting. But before we get into this, please explain us, your work, what you do, and your journey to becoming a healer.
So, my work is a very intuitive and very next to my heart work. I started my journey when I was very little. My work is all about intuitions because I feel that everything has spirit. Everything you touch has an energy, and everything you feel is all about our inner beings. So I work on a very healing module. Be it tarot, be it any kind of energies which I use, I work it on a very healing modules. My work involves past life regressions, hypnotherapies, sound healings, entity removals, then bachelor therapies, removing past life imprints on us. Talking to your ancestors and bringing your ancestors in to bless you is one of my forte. I whatever the module or the tool be I picking up, I do it with an intention to heal you. Be it a conversation or one-on-one sessions, or be it workshops, or be it um, my tarot sessions. Everything involves healing because I work on various kind of different works. So these are basically the initial portions which I do it on. I started my journey very young. I was not even aware that I'm born a healer. And being born in a typically North Indian family, to those who are aware about India, in North India, it's not a very common culture to have a child like me. So I was refrained to work on my energies. I was just about 1.5 years when I started speaking to ancestors.
Oh.
So at 1.5 year, when my grandfather died and he left, so it so happened that he came and contacted me. There was something about it that I kind of had a communication with him, and my mother said it was very clear for a baby to speak like that.
Okay.
But all this while, I could speak to a lot of souls, and my parents became very. They started having I lot of stress level at home, and they felt that this was really not natural. This was a very unnatural about somebody actually looking at something and passing the messages. So they started taking me away from all that. Then I was taken away from spirituality completely
Mhm.
because I would look at a person and I would say, this guy is not speaking the truth.
Oh.
And my mother would say, how do you know this? So the minute he would leave, and I would say, this is why he is saying whatever he's saying is all because of this. So intuitively, I was very high even when I was a kid. And then
Wow.
as I started growing, my people started coming to me, because if I would look at someone's face and he's going somewhere, I would simply say, your work will be done. You don't have to worry about it. So people started coming and asking for me. And my father then stopped it all together. He said, this is not working. This is not working for us, because this is like hilarious. People stop me in middle of the place and then they say, okay, we want to meet your daughter. So he just refrained me from doing all this. Then, for a very long period of time, I stopped doing everything because they wanted me to work on myself, get settled. I got married,
Yeah.
and somewhere in this whole journey, I lost my mother in 2002 when she was dying. She had an after death experience. She died, and I told her that if you want to leave me, you can leave me. And she came back. That was also an experience for me,
Oh.
because in which I she traveled back and she came back. She relived for 2 years after that. So all this put together, then my journey started almost about 15 years back.
Hmm.
I actually opened up to a lot of energies. And the energy started opening up to me. Maybe it was my calling then.
Yeah.
It was my calling then, because earlier the calling wasn't there. Earlier, everybody kept bringing blocks into me. And I
Hmm.
actually thought it's okay. Then 15 years back, I started my journey and things started unfolding on its own. So, and then everything started happening on its own. That's how I'm here. Though, of
Yeah.
course, as a profession, I'm an artist and I'm a
Hmm.
miniature artist. I'm a qualified artist. And
Wow.
somewhere I used to have a lot of color therapies for children. I used to have a lot of fun with children doing up those things.
Hmm.
But I guess life has its own way to take on. And I
Yeah.
had a that's how. Yeah.
Very interesting journeys. Now I have so many questions now in my head, but we will go ahead with with what we have decided the topic. But this is very interesting, Mrudula, to have someone so unique, like you, and having such experiences since childhood. So let's talk about tarot now. So many of our viewers could be new to tarot,
Yeah.
and so can you explain to them what is tarot reading? And of course everyone knows about astrology, and how accurate is tarot? Is it as accurate as astrology they claim to be?
Well, astrology and tarot are two different fields. We
Okay.
cannot compare both, right?
Hmm.
When we talk about astrology, it started from the Vedic sciences from India,
Right.
and it is a very very close quarter of the cosmic, how the constellation is moving, what all is happening in the universe, and how the planets are moving. It's about planets completely,
Right.
right? So every time a planet moves, every time it has an effect on each one of us. For example, because I am not into astrology, I am into moon. Because I feel women are more towards moon, and if
Moon
your
phase.
moon is perfectly placed, things actually become normal for you. So I'm kind of a moonologist,
Yeah.
and I follow moon predictions. So moon, every 2.5 days, moon has his moment,
Hmm.
whereas the planet has a moment at a longer space, right? So
Right.
if the moon is, for example, if the moon is, let's say, in Capricorn for 2.5 days, and
Hmm.
those 2.5 days you are a Scorpio, but if you are a moon sign Capri, or if you have the effect of Capri, you will have a lot of vibrations of Capricorn in your body. So
Okay.
we get to experience a lot of archetypes. So
Hmm.
we get to experience a lot of things in astrology. But tarot is about a very different science. Often tarot is misunderstood on predictions, on guidance. I mean,
Yeah.
I always feel it's not like that. Tarot is about breaking blocks. So
Okay.
it's about an inner source. We have created these blocks from this birth,
Hmm.
past birth, and we have got it through our inner child issues. When we were babies, we were
Right.
given certain amount of imprints.
Right.
Those imprints are there,
Yeah.
right? And the connection with those imprints can sometimes weigh on us. It's like we don't carry the depression in us for the present state we are going in. These depressions are the consciousness which we have carried from our mother's womb, or
Mhm.
maybe our grandmother, or maybe our great grandmother. So these are the imprints. So when you do a tarot, it's about a very enlightening journey. It
O-
is about giving you a new perspective. It is about bringing out the emotion which are lying dormant.
Mhm.
So what you do is, you when you open up the cards, they are healing cards. They're supposed to guide you. They're
Okay.
supposed to tell you that this is what you're holding. This is what is your blockage. So, cut that blockage off. And now, how would you do it? You take a advice from tarot, but whereas you don't take an advice from planet. Planet
Right.
doesn't speak to you.
Yeah. They
Planet is
just
like the
predict.
dad of the house. Planet is like dad of the house, and tarot is like mom of the house.
Mhm.
Okay, so how does daddies do? Daddies do not come and give you all the time suggestions. They might come and give you a suggestion here and there because they're very powerful people. Mums
Right.
are very powerful, emotionally balanced, and they
Yeah.
are ready to give you replies what you really are looking at.
Right.
The
They get
feminine,
involved. Yeah.
yeah, so there are 78 cards which are definitely connected to universe. There are messages in the air which they
Mm.
get connected to. There is a part of numerology which is numbers also there. Okay,
Okay.
so it's like you get to see numbers, you get to see angel numbers, you get to see all those messages. So there are messages in here. So, but
Okay.
when we follow astrology, we are told to do a particular thing. We follow a protocol.
Yeah.
But in tarot, we don't follow protocol. Tarot is a free will. Tarot is an energy. It's a
Mm.
complete energy. It all actually depends which healer you're sitting and talking to. It's a
Oh,
healing energy. So
okay.
if you see, because when we're doing tarot, it's a two-way combination. It is,
Okay.
if
So for
you're
the
asked,
same question, if I go to some other tarot, maybe I'll get another
yeah,
answer.
yes, absolutely,
Oh,
because it is the emotion of that person is connected into that.
okay.
Okay, so
Mm.
it matters whom you're getting your tarot consultancy done from. You're reaching
Okay.
out to which person, because that person has to be connected to the universe, to the very different equation. He has to know that this is a healing process.
Mm.
You
Correct.
have to understand this, that you have to reach to someone who has gone through a similar kind of a pain, if not the same.
Right.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
patterning has to, because it is very, very clear, Alam, that we attract same kind of souls in this
Right.
journey.
Yeah.
So tarot is a very, very intuitive, powerful journey. Wherein, if you ask me, for example, Mridula, I am abundant, but at the same time, there is something about money which doesn't flow to me.
Yeah.
Now, some people say, okay, a gradual person will say, money will flow to you in 6 months' time, or money will, I mean, when will the money flow to me? I don't say that. I say believe in yourself. And now I'm going to be asking, what am I supposed to be telling this person from my guide? So the
Mm-hmm.
guide comes in and
Okay.
he tells me that these are his blockages why the money is not flowing.
Mm-hmm.
So he has fears. His question is coming from the basis of anxiety. His question is coming from the imprint of his parents. His
Right.
ancestor went through the same journey, so he's asking you the same things.
Right.
So ask the person to change the concept and the pattern, and the money will gradually flow. So you got to understand that everything is energy and everything has spirit,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Right. Okay, interesting. It's interesting the way you are explaining it, because I did see on YouTube there are many tarot readers and you don't know what they're saying, and sometimes you just feel it's magically,
No,
they're
and
saying,
secondly, Alam, tarot is a journey from the West. It did
yeah,
not come to us, especially
right,
the Indians. It did not come to us.
right,
So it has come from West.
mm,
West did not have the astrology thing at that minute.
right,
We are born as Vedic astrologers. We are born as mantras and everything. So
right,
you have the essence is completely different.
correct,
It's mapping. It's mapping your, if it's mapping your head, it's mapping your body. That's it.
Interesting. Very good. So you also do past life regression. And
Yeah.
the question is, why do we need to do this? We always say that forget the past, keep moving on. So why do we still have to go back in the past to find answers for the future and for the present?
So, well, this is a very interesting and a very, very it's always because I have so many people who do not agree to this, and I have
Yeah.
more number of people who do not agree to this than to people who agree to this. So there's a big question about karma. Today we talk everything into karma.
Right.
Okay, so we say it's very easy. Okay, this guy has done this to us, so his
Mm.
karma will pay.
Right.
Right, so this is like how we talk about it. So at the same time, we all are aware of reincarnations, then
Yeah.
we all are aware of soul. So
Right.
we all have soul when we are well versed with this. So soul is basically, if we are all, if there is a soul, then there is a god who exists, and
Yes.
he's given us this journey.
Right.
So when you say that, why do you go back to checking on your past? Well, because you have been given a reincarnation, you've been given a set of karmic patterns, and you
Yes.
have every life which has a life path. So you got to go back and see why the blocks are coming in this life. For example, there are people who have unhealthy relationships. They attract people who come to them, and they have broken marriages one after the other. So
Mhm.
it is like two marriages which are broken, and yet they are on a lookout from someone who can actually love them, who can actually, they want to be heard.
Right.
All right.
Mhm.
So what do? They keep repeating the pattern, and they keep having the same energy again and again, because they're attracting the same energy, because they haven't learned this lesson in the previous birth. So this birth, again they do the same thing, and they have been told, if you go back looking into your own inner strength, there's no need to do past life, but if you look into your inner strength, you will get a reply to why you're attracting a partner who is actually giving you a traumatizing experience. Now,
Mhm.
that trauma doesn't have to be beating. The
Yeah.
trauma can be as trivial as being unheard. The trauma can be as trivial as unloved. Now, these emotions you're carrying in your system forever, and you do not have replies to these. There is so much heaviness in us. So, that is why we go down to bringing past in the present moment to clear up from our consciousness, which is staying there forever in our head. I'm not using heavy words because most often when we use very heavy words, people do not relate to it. So, this is one such example. Another example is that you have a piercing pain, and you
Mhm.
are unable to recognize that pain. You do not know. You go to the doctors, you reach out to people, and the doctor says nothing is there.
Yeah.
This pain is there. Now,
Right.
why is this pain there? I am doing everything. I am going and getting my CT scans done. I'm doing everything. Why is the pain there? Now we know that there is a pain. We know that there is a set pattern. We know that there is an uh, emotional blockages, and you have collected that emotion in a particular portion. It can be at the back, it
Yeah.
can be on your shoulders, it can be on your face or whatever. So now, when that kind of a thing happens, you don't know why this is happening,
Yeah.
why that regular cheats are happening, why people take it our money and go away. They don't give it to us, and this pattern is constantly there in the complete family,
Right.
right? My great grandfather, somebody cheated, took away the money. My father took away the money. In my case, also somebody took away the money. This we are having this graph. Now you
Yeah.
got to understand that you have to go down to check
Mhm.
into the previous life. and which life did what you did, that this is the pattern coming from there. So now when we map the pattern, if our conscious permits, things start to happening better, because everything is about consciousness which is getting streamed in this birth. There is no doubt about it. And it has been there, it has been a proven science. There are life after life, people are talking about it, and we all know that there is an afterlife. We
Yes.
all know there is an afterlife. As a matter of fact, there is a life in between life also.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
True. So all this that we've stored for so many lives that you're saying, if
Yeah.
in this life we go back, and are we able to unblock it? What do we do? What's the process like once we realize that this is the mistake, why the patterns are repeating? Do you suggest a solution for that, or somebody goes through therapy? What happens next?
So, when supposing someone is actually going through a lot of pain and someone's actually feeling, I do not know how to mark my patterns,
Yeah.
not only me, I think everybody will advise them to go through a past life session. Past
Mm.
life session is a session where we regress you by taking you to hypnosis, and post that we move you towards that area where that particular life is lying.
Mhm.
And the soul guides you and takes you, and we make you meet that life, and then that karma, because
Mhm.
it is that karma which is bothering in this part, right?
Right.
You're not collecting anymore, so we try and remove that karma and that heaviness. From that time we delete it and bring it to this life, so that you're not carrying that energy anymore, and we bring a shift. So it is a very, very deep conscious and deep rooted pattern
Mhm.
which we
Okay.
follow, and then we bring up and then we remove all those sadnesses and all those curses from, because everything, as I said, is energy, everything has a spirit. So there
Yeah.
is a spirit in curse, there is a spirit in greed, there is a spirit in many things which has happened to you. So all those spirits are standing waiting, so you need to learn to clear them up.
Okay. Good, interesting, very interesting, and I'm sure everyone in their lifetime comes through a blockage and they don't know the answer why this is happening. So this is going to be very helpful. It's another
Yeah,
way of
because
finding
it's
solution.
nothing, it's not a science which I'm talking about. It is something which has
Yeah,
been proven, and we all know that there is a life after death. So when
yeah,
there is a life after death, you've definitely lived a life previously.
yes.
And that is why, and the symptoms are very interesting. Very,
Hmm.
very interesting symptoms. So you, if you are feeling a deja vu feeling,
Yeah,
it's something like, I have seen this place. I mean, suddenly you go to a
yeah,
particular place and you feel, I have been here.
that happens. Yes, yes.
So that's kind of connecting to your past life. If you meet someone and you feel that I have met this person,
Hmm.
so it's a past life, right?
Correct.
If you get realistic dreams, you
Hmm.
wake up in the middle of the night and you feel, actually, I was there, I saw it,
Yeah,
I was part of the journey, right? So, what
ex-
is this? These are the signs of past life, that
right.
you are getting connected, you're getting messages, that if this birth you are unable to move out of this heaviness, and this birth you're unable to find that particular reply to why is it happening with me, then you got to check
Yeah,
where is it lying. You got
I
to
know.
clear it up.
It's very interesting what we are talking, but I'm sure there are many people here who also rely a lot on facts and figures. Now, what we say and what we are discussing, I totally am with you, but there are a lot of people who question this. So, how do you think this generation is going to agree and believe in something like
So, I mean, I completely agree with you that this generation does not agree, and this generation does not believe into all this, right?
that? Yeah,
So, but at the same time, I have this generation who's very wise, very, very wise, and there it's like 50% of them who do not believe, and then there are 50% of them
and
who
very
completely
strongly
believe
do
into
not
it.
believe.
Yeah. So they're strongly into it. They're
Yeah,
strongly into it. If you tell them, you know what, you do this, they will reach out to me in my personal window and they'll ask me 15 questions on that. How do you want us to do it?
yeah,
Right. So basically, I think they actually, everybody must be given a chance to experience things on their own.
Right.
This generation doesn't know how to express it completely the way we would express about mythology,
Correct.
about spirituality and religion.
Yeah.
This generation has their they have they have actually kind of collected the thoughts, parked them somewhere, and they are now thinking about it whether we should be openly talking about it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do? They believe in it, but they do not want to talk about it openly.
Yeah. True.
Okay, so
Right.
they kind of listen to you, and they imbibe everything, they absorb everything more beautifully than you and I would do it.
True.
Okay, then they would sit down on it for about 5-10 days, and then they would come knocking at you, because by then they have validated it. They're
Yeah.
validating everything because you see, these are millennium kids who are now born in. So
Yeah.
everything, and they're more clairvoyant than us.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, they are.
Their clarity, they are very fortunate that they are born in a time when the things are completely different from what you and I went through.
True.
So everything for them has to be seen first.
Yeah.
You have to give them a proper answer to everything, and then
Yeah.
you have to be very honest to them that this is how you go through it, and you then come back to me, then only they will come and get it done. They will not go racing behind something which is, you and I would do it. Okay, we
Yeah.
never had these kind of equipments which are easily available. They are available to a 3 years old kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
true.
yes, of course, there are children who do not believe, but there are children who do believe. There are children who do not believe in the first place, but there are children who, the youth, who believes in the third or the fourth time, and they come back to me asking me more. So
Yeah.
there are mixed lot, and I
Yeah.
don't feel that it should be contradicted. I think that they should be given their space and honored to what they have,
To
because
understand.
eventually everyone has right to develop their own concept about certain things.
Yeah, very true. And I also thank the pandemic for, making these topics
Yeah.
very open, because if I would be talking to you maybe 4, 5 years before, there would be a lot of skepticism on what you're saying, and people
Yeah.
would question, in a very different way. But now, with so many things that people have emotionally, personally gone through, I think these solutions have come up with in such a helpful way to many of, the people, that it's very good that we're talking about this openly, and we don't have to scientifically prove it, but we can tell you that it works.
Yeah,
So
it works.
it's, yeah.
It works.
So it's just to tell my people that, even these solutions that you're offering is online available through you, and
Yes.
anyone can contact you and, find their solutions wherever you feel you're blocked. Mrudula has lots of things that she handles, so you can just choose your right, what do you say, Mrudula, in your language? I don't know, but the right
You can choose your
way of
journey with me.
healing.
Yeah, so you can choose your journey with me, whatever
Yeah,
journey. If you get
correct.
attracted to numbers, so generally men folk like to talk about numbers, so I do numerology. Generally,
Okay.
women like to do tarot, so I do tarot.
Yeah,
And then there are people who like to get into a lot of emotional mapping. I do emotional mapping.
yeah.
So you can choose your journey with me. Absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly. We have a little time, but I will still ask you, Mike, some few two questions still that is left. So, what is, like, we have discussed what healing you specialize in, but do you want to elaborate on some part of it? And, who can go through these healing? Is it open to all age groups?
Well,
How do
yes, healings are open to all age group, right from
you?
children onwards.
Okay.
So when we take children from the age group of 3, because we have children with ADHD, or we have children with fear issues, we have children with a lot of other things. So we can start from anyone starting from 5 years onwards. Below 5 years, people come to me, children come to me, then I give them a batch flower therapy. But above 5 years, I give a lot of meditations, a lot of one-to-one healing works, inner childs, all those things we do it. Then, of course, there are multiple tools which I use. The tools, right, starting from Reiki to Lama Fera to removing the entities. So all these things can be done. Now, who all can do it? Any age group can do it. Any.
All right.
So it all depends on your willingness, whether you really want to be healed, or mentally you want to be healthy. Mentally, you want to do this because you want to, you have a life purpose in this life. You give importance to how much you have self love for yourself, that you want to feel happy, mentally healthy, so that you can, before you exit, you are able to leave with a mark on the planet.
Right,
So
right.
anyone can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and shed off some of the baggage that you could
Yeah,
be carrying
exactly. Why
from.
carry a baggage? Why carry a
Yeah.
baggage always? I think we all do mistakes. Each
Yes.
one of us, none of us is born perfect.
Right.
None of us is born perfect. None of us have that extra dimension with us. So whatever we have, we need to understand that if we do not have that, we can actually invest our own self and gain it.
Right.
And the best thing is to gain for our own self.
Right.
So why carry that baggage?
Yeah.
Why not just leave it and move and remain happy? It's
Yeah.
very important, because how you vibrate, universe listens to your vibration. He doesn't listen to a big lectures. When you start manifesting, people manifest and then they say, can I manifest five things together? I laugh. I tell them, you don't do that. Universe doesn't have time to do all this. Universe only listens to words, and very perfect words. So if you
Exactly.
want money, you got to be very clear about it. You can't have, will I get, $10,000, or will I get million? No, you got to be very specific about it. I need 1 million by this date. So
Right.
universe will definitely give you. He will respond to you, and you
True.
must try. Why must
Yes.
you not try?
Very
So
true.
the point is that our willingness is something, no, Alam, which is not there. We're not willing to receive.
Very true. Very
It's,
true.
it's a
And
basic tendency. It's a basic tendency. You give me a gift, my first reaction would be, "Oh, why did you get it?
yeah.
You could have come without it, right? It's your first reaction that you could have not. You could have just come. Oh, this was not formal. You were just meeting with." I think those who accept it with grace,
Yeah.
universe gives you gracefully.
Yeah. Oh, very well said. Because whenever even we are asking with a lot of doubt, that we are
Yeah,
asking, will this will be fulfilled? We have to ask with conviction, which sounds very easy, but very difficult to do because
absolutely.
our
You
thought
have to.
process doesn't stop.
Yeah, so you have to be very, very sure about it that this person will give it to me.
Yeah,
I am willing to receive not only from my husband, my employee, my bosses, my children. I'm open to receiving from everything and everyone in the world, and then
exactly.
I'm going to double it up and give it back.
Yeah,
Right? How
right.
much is our willingness to receive? We don't receive anything with that, neither love nor money. We have our own set of apprehensions on that.
Yeah, very true. Very
Yeah,
true. Let's free ourselves. This is a good takeaway from
yeah.
this session. And Mrudula, before you leave us, do you have some special words for the viewers that we have?
So the special words is, believe in yourself. Believe that everything is energy. And when you are rejected, you must come up 10 times more than what you have gone through. Remember, don't give up, because life is not giving up. You've come on this planet with a life path. You have been given a path. You have been given this beautiful life. You have been given your birthday date as a very, very important source to connect with yourself. So remember that you have all these ingredients in you. So any kind of rejection, any kind of setbacks should only bring you back, should not be the one where you sit down and you put yourself into dumps. Because it's easy to be dumped, but it is very good feeling to be elevating and elevating 10 more. So just do that. Just don't stay back and think one day it'll happen with me. No, that one day has to start someday, and make it today.
Wow. Very, very nice. And thank you, Mrudula. That's amazing. I'm sure I definitely wanted to hear that, and many of our viewers would, really be encouraged by those wonderful words. So thank you so much for today. We wish you great success in your work and hope we can bring you on again on the show.
Thank you so much. If the
Yeah,
viewers love the complete session and they had something to ask me anytime, they're most welcome. And if they like it, I'm more willing to come back to talk about
yeah,
what they
I'm
desire.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were so many things that you spoke today that it's just, making me, really wanting you to come, and you explain so well everything. So we have Preeti Verma, Madan, she's saying thank you so much. And we were joined by Neetal Raizada also. So thanks, guys, for joining us today. And we'll see you soon again. Mridula,
Thank you
have a
so much.
good night. Bye.
Thank you so
See ya.
much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you guys for joining us and enjoying this session. Definitely very interesting takeaways from this one. If you have any questions, do follow Mridula on her Instagram, on her Facebook. She keeps posting a lot of guidance for you guys. So keep following her and we'll see you soon. Bye for today.